Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Decision Time. Today we are interviewing big PFL middleweight Aaron Jeffery, who just got a win last weekend. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
What was your main takeaway from your last fight?
I haven't watched it back yet. Usually takes me a bit to do that. I felt like it was close when I was in there. I knew I had won, but it felt pretty close. And then all the comments I've been getting have been saying it was like very dominant, and I smoked the guy. So I'm gonna have to watch it back and really get some key takeaways. Like figure out what I did well and figure out what I got to do better. But felt like it was a scrap, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
I want to start off by saying congrats on the win on Friday night. I
Thank
want to
you.
go back though to Saturday morning when you finally got a moment to yourself and reflecting on the win. What's kind of going through your head in that moment post-fight?
Well, I didn't sleep at all after the fight. I couldn't sleep like even a second. I didn't drink much. Like I had a few beers. I thought it would like calm me down and I would finally get to sleep, but it was like 5 a.m. and everyone just left the hotel room and I laid down for like an hour and a half or 2 hours and I was like just eyes wide open staring at the ceiling. So I was like, fuck, I'm getting out of bed. Um, I don't know, man. It's like a whirlwind after like there's you're doing shit backstage right after the fight. Like I'm getting stitches and then I'm doing interviews and then everyone's coming to see me and I'm drinking a few beers and then we go back to the hotel and we're hanging out and eating pizza and walking around and shit. So um man, it's like hard to like sit down and digest it all right away. I feel like this week is probably when I'll start kind of having some more clear thoughts about it. I've been like all over the place too. We drove back from Charlotte, so it was a 12-hour drive that we broke up into 2 days. So no sleep and then 2 days of driving and then I just got back. So yeah, I'm still a little bit all over the place.
Jeez, that sounds very crazy, like big moment, heat of the moment kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, you've been living in the moment. Have you kind of thought forwards at all to what you're hoping next for your next matchup? Or like have you thought about that at all or no?
Nope, I don't want to think about that at all. They asked me after the fight too, like they interview me and they're like, "Who do you want next?" And I'm like, "I don't even want to think about this. I'm gonna go drink some beer and eat some pizza and re rest and relax for a little bit, and then you can ask me later." Uh, and I'm not at that point yet.
Fair enough. You once again had like a grueling fight, constant pressure, and like great clinch work. Was that something you continued to train at camp, or was this a specific thing you saw about Silveira that you could kind of use that to your advantage?
Man, the funny thing is, I don't train like that. Like I'm almost never in the clinch in the gym. I don't know what it is, why this happens when I fight. Obviously, it's working, right? Like I've got a lot of wins in this style, so it clearly works. Um, I just don't know why it keeps happening, to be honest. Like I have other skill sets that I think are very useful too. I think I could have out wrestled him. I think I could have kept it striking a little bit more too. But no, the clinch seems to work. It definitely wears guys out. And I think I kind of keep myself safe in there for the most part. Like I don't take much damage, and then I find my openings for elbows and stuff. Um, I did think this could be a strategy that would work against him. I've seen him in his last fights in the clinch, and he doesn't look like super strong there, and he's not overly active. So I knew this would be something that could work, but yeah, again, it's not something I train that much, but clearly it's working.
Oh yeah. And I mean it worked in, for example, your fight before this where unfortunately lost to Dalton Rasta, which also kind of controversial, but did you end up seeing any of the other performances on the card between like Josh Fram, Johnny Gregory, or Dalton Rasta and Brian Battle?
I saw Fremd's finish, but I didn't see the fights after me. So I didn't see Dalton's fight. I heard it was not great, and I heard it was a questionable decision.
It was not a great fight at all.
Yeah, that sucks.
Was there a point in the fight against Josh where you kind of felt the momentum start to swing in your favor? Like you started the fight hot, kind of slowed down in the second, and then finished the third really strong. Was there a moment where you were like, okay, this is mine. I'm gonna win this fight now.
Like I said, the whole fight kind of felt close when I was in there. I know there was like some big moments for either of us, but it felt close, but it felt like I had it the whole time. Like you said, even in the second round, I had a sketchy moment. He kind of wobbled me a little bit, but then even after that, I finished on top at the end of the round, like beating him up again. So I felt like I had won all the rounds, but it felt competitive.
Uh, very off the topic of your last fight. I've been seeing on online you've been beefing with John Krawek. What's all this beef about? He's saying he's a big guy. He can smoke you in a fight. What's all this about?
Yeah, he's just a troll, man. I've met him before. He's a nice guy. Um, Dude, it's so like the one video, the second video he posted, I told him to post it. It's getting crazy engagement, man. The first one, it's got like 70 something thousand views and like 800 comments now.
Yeah.
Um, Honestly, it's like a little bit disappointing. Like some of my friends commenting on it and being like, "Yo, this guy's a fucking idiot. Fuck him up." I'm like, it's clearly trolling. I don't know how anyone takes it seriously. Crazy, man.
You've been representing Canadian and Ontario MMA for quite a while now, and seemingly Niagara Top Team as a whole has kind of put Canadian MMA back on the map. Do you and your teammates kind of feel the pressure from that, or is it more you wear it as like a badge of honor?
I think it's a badge of honor. I don't think there's any extra pressure. Um, I don't know if maybe the coaches would feel a different way or not, but I don't think so. It's just it's pretty cool to be a part of it, like to represent Canada and then also like be considered one of the top gyms, if not the top gym in Canada. It's a pretty cool feeling because it started from nothing not long ago, right? Like we just had a few guys like kind of training for fun, and then the coaches opened up like a small shitty basement gym, and it's just been growing and growing, and yeah, now we've got our name on the map, so it's pretty cool.
And how long ago did you join Top Team?
Since the beginning, I guess. I mean, it was just a few of us like training wherever we could. They didn't even have like a gym. It wasn't an official thing, Niagara Top Team. It was just a name. I don't know if you guys know T. Guthrow. It was a name that he came up with. He just started calling like the guys training together. It was Niagara Top Team. And then one day the coaches decided to open up a real gym. I think it's like 7 or 8 years now or something since they officially opened.
And what's kind of like the culture at Niagara Top Team? Like obviously with guys, huge names in the UFC like Mike Malott, Jasmine, and all that, and yourself. What's the culture going in every day? Is it very like chill and relaxed, or is it very like loud and let's just get to work?
Um, Probably a little bit of both. It depends on the day. Honestly, I would say when we first opened, it was more intense. Prickett, the head coach and owner, he was I don't know if it's because he was younger, not that he's that old, he's only like low 40s, but we used to have practices, and if guys were like speaking when he was coaching or whatever, he'd be going off, he'd be making us do sprints. If guys were like getting chippy with each other, he'd be like making us Shark Tank them and like beat the shit out of them. Like we had some super rough practices back in the old gym. We called it the dungeon. It's like chilled out a bit. It's still intense for sure. Like it's professional athletes training, right? So it's definitely intense, but it's like it's friendly for the most part. We have new guys coming in all the time from out of town. It's very welcoming. It's a good like team environment. Everyone is helping everyone. Like it doesn't feel like it's not really a team sport, right? Like you're in there on your own, so you're kind of looking out for yourself. But in the gym at NTT, it feels like everyone is helping everyone, so it's nice.
Absolutely. And do you have any kind of unknown names that you want to shout out that aren't getting enough hype?
Unknown names. I don't know if anyone is like unknown, but I mean, there's a few guys that I trained with a bunch for this camp that are like just on the brink of like the next big step, like Clayton Pye. He is 7-0 fighting regional. He's the BTC champ. Like he's a top level fighter. Like he could be in the UFC contender series, whatever. Like he could take that next step any day. Same with Bobby Poulter, the unified welterweight champ, another like great fighter who just needs to get the opportunity. Um, I always hate this question because I don't want to like leave out someone that's that
Now you
I'd
got to
say,
name the entire gym.
what the fuck, man. Um, I'll shout out my buddy Josh Krzan. He's from Ohio. He's been training with us for a while. He makes the trip up here all the time. He's a middleweight from Ohio. He's like not super active in his fight career now, but he came up here and helped me for my whole camp, like trained with me whenever I needed him, and yeah, we beat the shit out of each other for like the last 2 or 3 months. So I'm always appreciative of that.
That's awesome. You've had some tough matchups, obviously on the Contender Series against top-ranked UFC middleweights like Brennan Allen and Kyle Brahalio. Do you have any interest to return back to the UFC? If so, is there like a plan in mind there?
I don't think so, man. I'm turning 34 soon. I think it's pretty rare that they sign guys at my age. Um, PFL and formerly Bellator, they've been very good to me. Like I'm happy here and I'm kind of trying to climb my way up the ranks, right? I feel like I have unfinished business here and I kind of want to see it through. So yeah, I doubt it, but I don't know. Crazier things have happened.
Yeah. And like, yeah, of course you can get more rematches. You gotta get back against Fabian Edwards, maybe that trilogy against Rasta. And also you're just looking great and that title, it could be up for grabs. Who knows? But do you also think that there's a chance you could maybe go up a weight class to light heavyweight?
No, no chance for light heavyweight. If anything, I would drop a weight class, which is
No?
still pretty unlikely, but I mean, yeah, I'm definitely closer to a welterweight than I am to a light heavyweight. Like it's rare that I'm ever like walking around heavier than 205. And I see these light heavyweights on fight week, man, they're fucking huge. I don't want anything to do with that.
Like Simeon Powell on that card? Oh,
That's
he was
massive.
huge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a big boy. The one guy that was on the prelims, Bruno Capoloza or something,
Mhm.
PFL prelims, he was the former champ at I think at heavyweight, he said. He was the PFL heavyweight champ in like 2021 or something, and now he's fighting at light heavyweight. I saw him cutting weight and I was like, this guy's fucking huge. Why is he cutting weight? I thought he was a heavyweight. He was like 225 on fight week. So
Jesus.
I'm assuming he's bigger than that, like out of camp. This was fight week, so I'm sure he's already lost some weight. So maybe this guy's walking around at like 230 or something, right? Like I don't want to fight someone like that. Yeah.
Um, you have a degree in kinesiology at Brock University and even own Jeffrey Nutrition. With your
Mhm.
impressive background, do you operate as your own nutritionist or do you actually aid in the diets of your teammates and stuff?
Um, a little bit. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of weird when you're like buddies with someone. It's like if you try to give advice to like your girlfriend or your mom or something, it's like it's always a little bit weird. So if
Hmm.
guys in the gym come to me with questions, like I'm happy to help, but I don't like formally work with them all that much. I do have clients from outside the gym. Every once in a while, there will be like a rec guy from the gym that will sign up and I'll work with them. And I've worked with fighters like all over the world pretty much. Like I've worked with guys in Florida. I had a guy in New Jersey. I had a guy from Arizona. I even had a MMA fighter from the UK that reached out and I helped him. So I have clients all over the place. I don't work with the guys from the gym quite as much.
And in your preparation for fights, how much of the mental aspect do you put like working wise into your fights?
Um, like mental aspect of like me fighting, you mean? Like
Yeah,
sports
like
type
instead of
stuff?
like training physically,
Yeah.
what mental stuff do you work on?
So I was working with like a sports psychologist for my last probably 4 fights before this one. And I liked it and I really enjoyed talking to him and stuff. And like we made a friendship that I'll probably continue for the rest of my life. But I don't know, I felt like it almost made me like overthink things in a way. Like I got so focused on thinking about the mental aspect that I started overthinking that, which I think was not what you want to do, obviously, right? With this long break, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna fight again, and I was like, you know what, for this fight, fuck it, I'm not gonna worry about that shit. I'm just gonna train. I didn't even really watch any tape. I tried to just not think about this shit at all. I just wanted to, I'll just train and get better and get in good shape and I'll just fight and whatever happens, happens. And I think that worked out pretty well.
I wanted to ask about the mullet and the stash. It's obviously a very iconic look, and it's even your Instagram profile picture. What was kind of like the thought process going into getting the haircut? And is this something that we're going to see for the rest of your fight career, or have you have any doubts about it?
I mean, honestly, at this point, I would love to cut it. As a 33, almost 34-year-old man, I'm like, fuck, I wish I could just look a little bit more respectable sometimes, you know? Uh, and honestly, there was like no thought process that went into it. It was during COVID and everyone was letting their hair grow out because you weren't allowed to see the barber or whatever. Even though my girlfriend is a hairdresser, I just grew my hair out because that was the reason. But it was getting like pretty long and it was in my eyes in training and I was like doing like a stupid little top knot thing on top to keep it out of my face. And I was like, you know what, I'll do a mullet. That'll be funny. And then I fought with it, and the commentary was talking about it a bunch. They were calling me like Trailer Park Trudeau. Um, and I just kind of like ran with it, and then it became, like you said, a little bit iconic. And now at this point, it's like career suicide. So I got to keep it.
Man, that COVID hair is crazy. Yeah, I used to have an afro, like it was all big. I did the little
Yeah,
pony on top too.
yeah,
Oh, it was
yeah,
rough.
yeah, yeah.
I was wondering who inspired you to start in this career path, and does anyone continue to inspire you to this day?
Well, I would say my brother is kind of the guy that got me into it because he's a few years older and he like got into watching UFC. So I started watching with him and kind of following the sport. And then we're from a small town, Tilsonburg, and there's like not much going on there. And he found a gym and he wanted to start training. It was basically like cardio, kickboxing, and jiu-jitsu. So he got me into it. And then when I moved away for school, I found a better gym and stuck with it there. So yeah, I guess my older brother, I would say, is the reason I'm doing it. But they're like, it's just a slippery slope, man. You get into the sport thinking you're just doing it for fun, or like maybe I'll get in some street fights and beat some guys up or whatever. And then time's going by and you're doing jujitsu tournaments and then you're doing amateur fights and then pro fights. And then before you know it, I'm like 10 years into this shit and I'm getting offers for contender series. So I wouldn't really say there was like a one moment where I decided it would like, this is my career. It's what I want to do. It just kind of happens gradually.
I want to ask, is there a certain like UFC legend or even current day UFC fighter that you kind of watch a little more or like kind of try to mimic their style, or if you kind of just kind of figured it out on your own through training and all that?
Well, Anderson Silva was always my favorite growing up, and it took me a few fights before I realized I'm never going to be able to fight like this guy. He's something special. Um, I don't know, you'll like see stuff like take little things away from different fights, but I don't know, man. There's no one that fights like me, I don't think. Like I'm sure there is somewhere, but like maybe like a Randy Couture, he was like a big dirty boxing guy. Even I think Cain
Mhm.
Velasquez used the clinch quite a bit. Um, there's a guy that actually just got cut from the UFC, I think. I guess he was like a Nazi guy. He was on Contender Series maybe last year. He fought Pat Carroll, the Canadian, to get into the UFC. Bald
Mhm.
guy with like a bunch of tattoos and stuff. He was a well,
Yeah.
he's like Swedish, I think. Um, I don't
Oh,
know.
Gustafson?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
He was like a super heavy clinch guy, right, too, but he was like really
Hmm.
active in the clinch. He only had a couple fights in the UFC, but he was pretty sick. I was like, this guy's cool. I could utilize some of his stuff, but apparently he's a Nazi, so we don't like him anymore.
And one final question here before we wrap up. I just wanted to ask you, as MMA continues to grow in Canada and even Ontario, what would you say to young Canadian MMA athletes looking to make a name for themselves and continue their training?
Hard work, man. It's like the motto of our gym. We always say it after practice. We have our little hard work chant. I mean, in any aspect of life, I think it's gonna get you very far, whether it's like school or work or athletics, or you want to be an MMA fighter. You got to work hard. You got to commit to what you want to do and just grind.
Absolutely. I love that. Well, thank you for coming on our show, Aaron. Everybody, this was Aaron Jeffery, PFL Middleweight, social media, AAJ, MMA. And yeah, thanks for coming on. Congrats on the win.
Thanks for having me, boys.
Of
Thank
course,
you.
man. Thank you.